So a popular question on live streams, guys, is how do I mark up my zones and why do I mark up my zones the way I do? So what I'm about to show you is exactly how I mark up my zones and why I think it's important for you to also understand what the significance of these zones are and how price tends to react to those zones. So let's get into the video, guys. Be sure to stick around till the very end of the video, guys. We have a very special offer for you, my loyal viewers. Alright guys, so I've got a chart here loaded and this is gold. So I'm about to show you how I go about marking my charts. Obviously, as you guys know, I do my top-down analysis to begin. I start the weekly onto the daily and then I make my way down to the 4-hour. Now, I focus more on obviously the most recent price action. Now for me, so starting the 4-hour, what I do is pull up my toolbox here. Now I've got my rectangle tool and I click on using my magnet so I can pinpoint on the actual high. Highest point of any bearish candle at the present resistance. I connect that to the closest body of any candle. So the closure here is the bullish candle is the closest body, and that is the beginning of my zone on the 4-hour. Now I'll show you other examples because at times, for instance, I'll show you one shortly to the downside. I'll use the lowest point of any bearish candle for as far as support. I'll just draw it in now. I'm focused more on the lowest point of any bullish candle. So it's the same candle that is the closest body. So I just attach the lowest point of any bullish candle at the support to the closest candle. And often it's going to be the lowest point of the candle at support will be attached to a bullish candle. Often the highest point of a bearish candle at resistance will be attached to a bearish candle, but not always, as we can see here. Show you another example to the downside here. What we can see is we've got some support form. So obviously once we've got a bullish candle closure, we've got even support here. Could even use this one. Doesn't have a wick really to the downside. So the lowest point of that support, that actual pause and support, is the bearish wick. It will be likely adjusted. So once I go down to the 15-minute time frame, I'm going to need to determine whether that is the lowest point of any bullish candle or not. And if it's not, I will be adjusting it yet again. To the upside here, seeing we can confirm that it's the highest point of any bearish candle at the 4-hour level, likely not going to be adjusting it as much. But again, I'll show you how we may adjust it shortly on the 15. To the upside, so we can see there is some resistance here. Happens to be the highest point of bearish candle, happens to be the same candle where we attach to the lower part of the zone to the actual open of that candle itself. So you're starting to get the picture now, guys. So we can make our way, guys. Let's go on to the 15-minute time frame. All right, and what we can see is, so again, this is the highest point of the 4-hour. We've put in some data from within it. So what you could do, guys, and look, this is subjective, but generally speaking, what I do is I like to neaten the zone up a little bit. Otherwise, you just basically got candles cutting through it. So I start to drag it across. Once again, not losing the highest point, and I'll just drag it across to, again, pretty much the closest bodies. Now, sometimes I like to keep it a little bit more deeper, but for the most part, this is what I'd be doing. Let's just see if we can adjust these zones more. All right, so what we can see now, so let's go quickly back to the 4-hour. Yeah, I mentioned it's the lowest point of the bearish candle. So we likely need to adjust that if it's not the lowest point of the bullish candle on the M15 and is not the lowest point. So what I would now be doing is simply just look at this little area on the chart. And what we can see, the lowest point of any bullish candle is this point here. So I've just adjusted that support to that point there, and that becomes now our little 4-hour. Now we can just zoom back across, and that now becomes my 4-hour zone. All right, we can adjust the downside zone. Now this one remains basically, and you could adjust it to the closest body being that bullish candle, but that's basically all. It's very minimal. To the downside here, look, you could keep it deep to see how price reacts to it if you're looking for potential buys from the 4-hour support, or you could just ever so slightly adjust it to the body of the closest body of any candle to the most recent price action, which is obviously up here. Once it pops below this support, the closest body of a candle is literally that candle there. Again, guys, it is subjective. It's not always going to be absolutely perfectly in line with mine. Also because different brokers will have different price points and things like that, so on and so forth. All right, Now, obviously on the charts, I would just remove all these zones that are away, a distance away, so they're kind of irrelevant for the time being. And now I mark in minor zones, and generally I mark these in blue just so I can distinguish between the minor and major zones. And what we can see is we've got some minor support here, so I'd mark that in, change it to blue. That has formed my minor support. Now we've got another level just below it, change that's obviously in blue as well. And now here's another level of minor support. Just to practice, what you could do is resistance. I'd probably just attach these two zones together, so include the high of this candle as the highest point of any little swing at the resistance, and that I'll just use that as the body, seeing you've got very minimal margin between this open and the open of the candle that creates the actual highest point. Now what I'm going to explain to you is the significance of these zones, guys. Now why I believe it is important to mark up zones the way I do it is because the amount of times we're going to see price pull back to one of these levels doesn't always stick to them, but for the most part it's going to react to them. We can even see the current support price has reacted to it once again. So it not only provides a level of price could react from, but also provides me a potential level to get involved in a trade entry point. So for instance, there's a good chance that price is going to react to this support. So when it does, I know at that point it's my potential cue to begin to look for what sort of opportunities I need to take a trade. So for instance, I want to take a sell, I need to see how price reacts to it. What you often hear me say on stream is I like to trigger in some buys at the support, have a bit of a reaction, then for price to close below, retest that level and begin to pull away from it into the clean traffic. Now again, to the downside, often what we're going to see is price is going to have some sort of reaction, especially at the 4-hour zones, more so than the minor 15-minute zones. Going to likely have some sort of reaction, bounce off it, trigger in some buyers, and see they're going to decide to consolidate and eventually form support to head back up, or potentially reject. So form that support, reject, and begin to pop below into the range below, where it could give us our cue to look for some potential sells. Again, now, if you were to draw in horizontals, so why I believe it's important to do it the way I do it, if you were to draw in horizontals, and I have seen traders do this, let's just use this as the example, and they see, all right, so here's my zone. They may look to see what's to the left, they may draw in zones here, and say, look, price tapped in a few times there. It's not the best example, but you guys get the drift. They may just draw in horizontals like this, and often what I see, some of the old streamers I used to watch would just look for literally a break of that horizontal without waiting for a confirmation of price closing below a zone, without waiting to see how price reacts to it. And that's what made me come up with these sort of rules as to why I draw my zones in the way I do, because again, I saw price react. So when people were trying to sell it as it was breaking through these horizontals, I'd be waiting to see, is it going to close below it, and at what point does it generally need to close below in order to convince me that it's ready to continue. And that's how I came up with wanting it to close below the actual lowest point of any bullish candle at support, or above the highest point of any bearish candle at the resistance. And that, just by watching the charts, gave me my rule and gave me a trade option that has a winning rate of at least 80+% if you just patiently to wait for the opportunity. So all in all, that's pretty much how I mark up my zones, guys. So a few points to remember. The highest point of any resistance has to be a bearish candle wick. Now, if it's not on the 4-hour bearish candle, we can use the bullish candle, but we need to go down to the 15 to determine whether it is the highest point of the 15-minute, if a bearish candle on 15. And to the downside, if it's not the lowest point of any bullish candle at the support, then what we need to do is go down to the 15, determine what the lowest point of any bullish candle is at that support, and that would determine our level for the zone. Now guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and watch me trade live on a daily. Now I have a very special offer only for you who've stuck around to the very end of this video. I've got a special promo code for anyone who is interested in leveling up the game in amongst a group setting. So the group setting is obviously the A.C.T. Forex Academy VIP. So you get the full course, you get plenty of other educational content, pre-record content, plus you get access to myself and the members only live calls, which is between 3 and 5 live calls a week, where we discuss things, have a look at the charts, do some education, do some sim work. So I have a very special offer for you guys. I'll attach the link in the description below, and you'll gives you a special 25% off the lifetime of your subscription. So if you'd like to know more, always feel free to contact me. Once again, guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I'll be seeing you in the VIP and on the live streams. Cheers, guys.